Hey guys, Steve Welcher, Beeman Toyota in Nashville. Had a few people ask me this, so I wanted to go ahead and show you guys how to do this. So question is how do you replace a battery and a key? So I actually have a pretty good answer for it, but the first question is which key do you have? But I'm going to show you all three of the Toyota keys that you're most likely to have in your Toyotas for having to replace the battery in your remote entry system. So what I'm going to show you here is I'm going to show you these three right there, and I'll kind of get this all set up. So what I'll do here is I'm going to show you how to replace the battery in each one of these particular ones. So this one is obviously, it's got your key on here. So it's a pretty standard one. I mean, that could be a Tacoma, it could be a Tundra, it could be, obviously there's several cars that have it, your Camrys, whatever. Obviously this one shows a little SUV here, so that's hold for the hatch. So that's probably on an SUV, right? But it could be a trunk button, it could be, but they're going to be similar, and the battery change is going to be the same. All right. So this one right here is actually off of a Highlander. You usually tell on the back what they are, but this one's off of a Highlander here. But there's obviously several cars that have that too, and most of your newer ones are going to have that type of key. And then you have this one right here. This one's actually off of a RAV4, I believe, an upper end RAV4. But they're all going to have benefits and drawbacks, and they're all going to have different ways that you actually replace the battery. So first thing I'm going to do is this one right here. This one's actually one of the more commons when you have a push button start. You'll notice that by hitting this button right here, you're going to remove this particular key. All right, this key will actually go into your door if you ever have a problem and this key fob battery is completely dead. This can actually let you in your door. You touch your emblem to the Toyota push start button, and then that's actually going to let you start your car. But to replace the battery, if you put it into this little catch right here and turn it, what you're going to notice is this thing's going to pop apart. All right, and you got two sides. Set this side off to the edge or to the other side. I will note that these will pop out. These buttons will pop out, so you always want to be very careful that you don't pop those out. You can get them back in. It's tedious. Little things with the hands are bigger than it is what it is. But you're going to notice this right here. You're going to pop this out. Once you pop this out, you're going to see on the back, this is a 2032 battery, which is the most common. There are other ones that they use, but this is the most common. You're going to see down here you have this little lip. What I like to do is I'll pull one of these little prongs back. Now make sure you don't just try to pry this out. You'll break these little prongs and you're going to destroy your key. So you want to pull this little prong back, right? And then just kind of put your finger under here. And if you start doing that, usually you'll be able to pop that out like I just did there, and then slide this out. Now these don't move, so you want to make sure that you don't do those. So, but that's your negative side, that's your positive side. Slide this, so when you're sliding your new battery in, it doesn't matter where the plus is, it doesn't have to be up or something like that, but just slide this back in. Once you get this close, pop it. All right, and you'll see these prongs catch. Make sure that those prongs catch. All right, so if it's not all the way in, then you can still, whatever, but make sure that, you can see that this one's not in right now. Push this, make sure that those prongs catch. You can give them a little push there to make sure that they catch. Now putting this back in, you'll set this. Now, what you want to do is, you can look at how it's set up. You'll see these little knobbies right here, whatever. But you want to make sure that you have this thing set in there good, all right? So when you're going to turn this, you can see which way it goes, because you can't really put this back the wrong way because it won't snap together right. See your little, everything's all, lined up on the side there, right? So what you want to do is push this back together. And once it's back together, you can pop your key back in here and everything's set. That's how that one works. All right. So what's your second one? Now your second one, you have a lever that's down here. You can pull this lever out. It's the same principles, right? And you're going to pop this key into here, right? Because it's got that same type of a opening, right? So you'll pop that back in there, and you're going to see that it's very similar. These can fall out again, right? You're going to turn this over, and you're going to see there's your 2032. You still have those same two prongs. Now this one's a little bit more difficult because you got to get a screwdriver down in there, but you'd still grab one of these prongs, and then when you have a little tiny screwdriver, pop those out. All right, so you can do that, and then once you do that, you're going to be able to see where that little chip goes, and you can see that it's pretty hard. You can't put this thing in the wrong way, guys. You can put it in upside down. You can't put it in the wrong way. And once you notice that your buttons are here and you're going into the back, then I mean, like I said, it should be pretty easy to know which way to go. And then you push this thing back together right here. You hear those little pops, everything's popping in. Always look around the outside, make sure that everything's popped in good and tight, right? Then you can take this, pop that back in, and you're good, right? Now this one's a little bit harder. This one, I'm gonna, use a screwdriver. So where your screwdriver goes in is right here. All right, so you're gonna pop this, turn this, right? So as you get through, you're gonna come over and you're gonna see this has this little box right here. Okay, and you're gonna go all the way through here and you're gonna pop through each of these little prongs until you get to the point where you can pop the thing out. You see how it's starting to pop out here, right? So now once it starts to pop out, you should be able to pull. So if you still need, there you go. So now I've got all those prongs out, right? Depending on how you pull it out, that might still be in there. But you're easier to get this out with here. Now I've already stole the battery out of this one, but you would just slide the battery back in here, plus side up. But just notice how you take it out. But you'd slide that battery back in there, you put that back in, you'd put this back together, right? Just let everything snap in, right? Now remember what I told you about this? I just popped these things out. So what you want to do is, see, this is why I said to be careful, but I obviously was not, did not take my own advice. So what you end up having to do is you kind of, and it's probably good to show you this, but like I said, it just becomes a fun little puzzle. So let's see. And then you just start popping things in and turn them around, but you guys get the gist, right? So, we gotta go this side. So red one's over here, and then this one's over here. So you can see why I told you be careful to not let those pop out, and then I wasn't careful and I let those pop out. So, but you can see they can only go in one way. But then what you want to do is you come back over here. These are your buttons, of course, so you turn your buttons back down, put that back in, flip that back over, snap, and it's done. So there's your battery. So those are your 3 most common Toyota batteries and how to change the batteries in each one of those. So hopefully that's helped you guys out. Be very, very careful when you do this, guys. Don't break those prongs. You're going to destroy your key. So be very, very careful. It's Steve Welch, Beaman Toyota in Nashville. Definitely let me know if you guys have any other questions. I'm always happy to help you. Steve Welch, Beaman Toyota, downtown Nashville. You guys have a great day.